man, it's been a while. I kind of blame the artwork for artistic impressions. It always really takes me forever, and then I feel really bad that everything else just comes along so quick. And so here we go. Yes, technically this is not a brand new game, it's a remake. Please don't groan, it's a game series that's been really needing an update after the hell that was Nosgoth. And if you don't know about that debacle, please be thankful and just move on and pretend it never existed. Anyway, this series was a staple of my childhood, along with Tomb Raider, so imagine my joy when it was remastered, not remade. It was one of the first games that I got with my pocket money from a car boot sale, and I loved it. Was it legal? Probably not, but there we go. Car boot sales were always a very shady place to get games. So this will be a mix of what I like about the remakes and just about the game in general. I'll do my best to avoid spoilers, but I can't guarantee anything. Let's just dive straight into this. Number 1, the graphics. Some people will complain, why say graphics? It's not very realistic. This is a very old game. But graphics don't really need to be realistic to be good. Honestly, this is one of those games that if it was realistic, it would really lose its charm. And who wants to watch an emaciated corpse reanimate itself and just wander around? At least the fangirls get to believe that Raziel looks cute. They have, however, made some massive improvements with colours and textures, and it looks so good compared to the original. The environments are fun, changing with each of the clan leaders you go to, and based on the time periods in the second game, you've got the past, the present and the future. And each one has very, very different stylistic design choices that are all present as a thread throughout, but you can see the corruption that the world around you is indeed going through. Number 2, the music. I'm aware that this might also be a little bit of a weird one, but I can honestly tell that they've cleaned up the sound, at least a little bit. Not sure exactly what they've changed, but I can tell that there is a bit of a difference. The eerie atmosphere of the game is just perfect throughout the whole thing, from the epic vistas to the creepy choirs. It is literally a perfect background sidetrack to the whole thing. You don't even notice when the sound starts looping, and that's something that a lot of modern games, I feel, are missing. Number 3, overall, the voice acting. What do I mean like that? Well, back in the day, voice acting, as we know, for video games was not a particularly big thing. I'm going to refer you to one of my favourite games, Resident Evil, and the
Jill sandwich.
So, yes, video games have always had a little bit of a kind of cheesiness about their voice acting. However, Soul Reaver goes a completely different route with the cheesiness, let's say, and leans into it a bit more. You may not know this, but they got a load of voice actors that are really, really big, not just in film and I say games for the time, considering there weren't that many, but also for the West End and Broadway and things like that. So they got a lot of very theatrical people, and you can definitely hear it in their voices when they are enunciating, and it's really fun. But they are also, you can also tell that they are having an absolute blast with it, especially when you get the bloopers, which are included in the remaster, which is amazing because I love them so much.
Oh, too resilient.
Good one.
It's a lot of chat, isn't it?
Indeed.
It's so great. Poor Simon, I go, and he did what?
Boy,
And he goes into 3 pages.
Sitting down and taking a rest
And
whenever he
it's
starts
so
to talk.
great. That is so fun.
So Simon Templeman, for example, who plays Kain, was originally a West End actor, West End or Broadway. He was a theatre actor, and he was approached to do this part, and he auditioned for it as if it was a part for a theatre, and they loved that so much that they kind of ran with it and went with the other characters and stuff like that, and it's worked really, really well for them, I think. As I said, the choices are really perfect for all of the characters and everything, even if the script is a bit cheesy. But let's be honest, what's a bit of cheese between friends, right? Sometimes it's the things that make the games worthwhile. You know, the whole all our bases, your bases are belong to us kind of thing. Number 4. The Realms. Raziel has been many things. A human, a vampire, and now whatever this thing is. Now, as an undead reaper, Raziel doesn't just have access to the physical realm, but also the spiritual realm. This is one of the key elements of the game and is used in many, many ways. It's a key to many of the puzzles, the spectral realm twisting and turning the physical realm to open up new ways to explore the map, from pillars changing height and cracks in the walls opening up to be able to phase through those said walls, to it adds an extra edge to the exploration within the game. It also kind of acts like a respawn location. In the first game especially, if you die, it returns you to the spectral realm so that you can fix yourself and return to the real world to try again. There is no game over screen, at least in the first game. They kind of changed this in the second one, but honestly that too is a great addition to the game. So, what do I mean by this? Well, in the first one, if you die, you return to the spectral realm. If you're then beaten up by the creatures that inhabit the spectral realm, or run into a trap that kills you, very rare, I think I found one of them, and it may have been a glitch, then you are returned to the seat where you were birthed. The creature, the undead god, I think he calls himself, he will respawn you to his base. So you can never technically die fully in the first game. Second game is slightly more it has save points and checkpoints, in that if you go to the spectral realm and you die again, you do die, but you are returned to save points, and I use the term loosely. They are essentially flagpoles that are in the game that store your spirit energy and allow you to return when you really need to continue the game. Number 5, the story. Despite all of the things that went wrong with Blood Omen 2 and Defiance, the story for these two games is pretty solid and does work pretty well. It spans over centuries and has everything: treachery, mystery, combat. The story is mostly a simple revenge story at the start, but as you play it becomes more convoluted and you're constantly changing sides. The only thing that you know is that you want to survive and stop what's going on around you. For the time, there was a lot of intrigue, and it was just so much fun trying to figure out where it was going and how it was going. And while it wasn't a massive thing, it did become a brilliant kind of reason to go back to the game. I'll admit, playing it back now, there is a lot more that they could have done, and it's not the best after the leaps and bounds in storytelling since its original release. I'm looking at you, Baldur's Gate. But it is still a standout for the time, and it does bring back a lot of really good memories, all the theorising and things that were done when the internet was first getting going. Overall, I think they did a really solid job with this remaster, and it was difficult to just pick out 5 things that I enjoyed. If you want a blast from the past, or just to see what the hype was about, then these games are a really good idea to pick up, especially if there's a sale going on. One thing I will say though is be prepared for a little bit of frustration. As much as I adore these games and are working on 100%ing both of them, the combat can feel a bit stiff and one-sided at times, with animations being slightly off and hitboxes being weird. But this is typical for remasters and not a remake. If you want to hear me rant about that thing, I'll talk about the Bayonetta remaster. Now there is a topic I could complain about for days.